Good morning and happy Sunday to you. Today is going to be just a fun day in the life vlog. We don't have a specific topic today yet, but we'll get there. We're expecting a few packages that we want to show you guys if they come in. We're going to be heading to Ashley's lab to see a little bit more about her research. Obviously, we're going to show you a full day of eating carnivore diet meals, that fun stuff and jazz. But until then, we're going to hit up the gym. Today I am wearing my Gus top and my Nelly socks. It's gonna be a good day. Have a good one. Energy. Sending you energy. Now go explode into this Sunday. Good girl. It's you, Mama. Mama, it's you. I found you angel babies on my socks today. Angel baby, is that you on my socks today? Is that you? Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. I like beef and I like when you massage my hands. I totally forgot to mention, we're asking the Instagram story today for a list of FAQs, frequently asked questions that we're going to address in this video. So stay tuned for that.
Are you following us on Instagram?
Ashley wants to know,
are you following us on Instagram? Huh? Why not? I said, why not?
Just had a really good lift, but speaking of following us on Instagram, Sarah posted a face-to-face Friday, a picture right here, and a link to the post will be in the description below, which shows like a face transformation. So she used to deal with a lot of hives and acne on her face, and so she used to rely heavily on makeup. And something that I'm just like super proud of as an older sister is how she has transformed to not using makeup like at all. And it's really cool to have watched that transformation. And it's funny because now she has more confidence than she's ever had without using any makeup. So carnivore transformation for the win, and it just shows how much your skin health depends on what you eat, and you can modulate that with your diet. I personally have never had like too many skin issues like pimples on my face, but I used to deal a lot with pimples on my chin, and I don't know when the last time I had a skin pimple. So this has definitely taken a little bit to completely kind of fix, but after almost a full year on carnivore, like I don't deal with the chin pimps. The chin pimps don't hang out around here no more, okay? Alright?
I ain't got no business.
No business.
I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. I'll talk more about that in a future video.
We will definitely do a full skin care, because we've recently changed things up and taken our skin health to a whole new level.
Yeah, what she was saying about like the rashes and stuff, I would have the butterfly rashes, and then I would deal with some eczema.
Yeah.
Some eczema and rosacea. I don't really even know how to say that. And I thought it was sort of normal. So look at that Instagram post if you're struggling with this to see the difference and kind of what it was looking like. And don't give up on yourself, because seriously, it's not worth hiding every single day. Like, that's not life.
I'm so proud of
not human.
my sister.
Thanks.
Time for platter number 1. Honestly, just love all of this snow. And then we have this little table here, and Gus just said this is mine. Miss Mama, Nelly Mama! Hi, Mr. Gus. You mark your territory, Gus? You said that bench is mine. Ladies, you see that? That's mine. Miss Marshmallow. Hi, Miss Queen. Oh. All right, just whipped up a super quick platter number 1. So on plate 1, we've got skirt steak, raw frozen liver, raw beef suet, 2 over easy eggs, chicken boobies, and then some of the remainder of that duck stock that we made the other day, heated up, nice and warm. Everything seasoned with Redmond. All right, let's see yo. How to make sweatpants formal. Find some high-waisted ones with some fancy gold buttons. Throw on some Doc Martens and hit them with the hoops.
The hoops. Those are, can you back up a little bit?
Yeah.
So I'd say these are very much carrot pants, guys. This is where I'm getting the carrot from. It's like a little bit bigger on the top. It bulges out by the groin, comes down to tighter at the bottom. What?
Yukon Gold potato pants.
No, those are not Yukon Gold potato pants. Those are carrot pants. Carrot pants 2020. It's a thing. Watch, you're gonna see that in like Vogue in like a week.
All right, gotta go.
Started here.
Gotta go to the lab, let's go. All right, hey guys, taking a quick break from work, and a few people asked to hear a little bit more about my future interests. So come, pulled up one of my PowerPoint slides for my presentation at AFRL the other day. So I told you guys about negative feedback loops, and so I deal with these on a day-to-day basis. So these are my negative feedback loops that I am using to control Roberta.
Hi, Roberta.
So that Roberta behaves like an angel. So come.
Roberta.
So these negative feedback loops I deal with every single day, and I design this controller to make sure that our system is behaving the way that we want it to. The output of the system is behaving like the desired value. So as I brought up, these negative feedback loops are ubiquitous and happen all the time in the human body for things like temperature, calcium, blood pressure, blood glucose, and I use the example of blood glucose. And how you could frame biological problems as these control loops. So what I'm interested in is these systems, especially in the body, are going to be subject to a lot of disturbances. And so how can we make these feedback loops more robust? So this is particularly relevant to the warfighter who are operating in these extreme environments in order to optimize their performance. All of these negative feedback loops to maintain homeostasis for all these values must be operating really well. If you don't have good blood glucose, good blood pressure, good calcium regulation, good body fluid balance, your body is not going to be operating well and the warfighter is not going to be performing well. So how can we make these homeostatic mechanisms that are ultimately working on negative feedback loops, how can we make them more robust in these crazy extreme environments where there's oscillating oxygen levels, too high of oxygen levels, they're operating at super high pressures. So I'm particularly interested in how ketosis and the ketone bodies that are produced from ketosis. So when you're in ketosis, the liver produces 3 different ketones, and the main one is beta-hydroxybutyrate. Specifically, how beta-hydroxybutyrate can potentially be protective in these extreme environments in the context of epigenetics. So I think the simplest explanation about epigenetics is comparing a queen bee to a worker bee. So they have the exact same genome, exact same genes, exact same DNA, but their behaviors are completely different. A queen bee is a lot bigger, it guards the nest, it doesn't move around as much, it doesn't dance, whereas the worker bees are dancing, they're a lot smaller. So I think that's like the pretty clear explanation. You could have the same set of DNA, it's how the DNA is expressed, right? So you can turn off certain genes by way of diet. And how can these ketone bodies be protective of your DNA in these really crazy extreme environments? So the Department of Defense has a few studies going on, and I'll just briefly summarize a few of them. So one, at the bottom of an ocean, like Navy SEAL divers, they are exposed to crazy oxygen levels at really high pressures, and so ketosis can protect against CNS oxygen toxicity and things like seizures that come along with that. And then also the NASA NEMO, so NASA has these projects called NEMO, NASA Extreme Environment Mission Operations, and so they're working and operating at the bottom of the ocean to simulate a deep space travel, and this is work out of Dr. Dom D'Agostino's lab at University of South Florida. And ketone bodies can be protective against some of the neurological risk factors of space travel, such as space radiation and low oxygen levels. So those ketone bodies are potentially protective in these crazy extreme environments. That's where I want to be. That's my interest.
That's really cool. My sister's so smart.
No.
Oh my god, my sister is so smart. She's blushing.
No.
Oh, okay.
Let's go to the dog park.
Going to the dog park now, guys. Thanks, Professor Ashley.
No.
All right, so we are gonna answer those FAQs we asked Instagram story for. So I just have a few different questions here. We kind of got a lot, and we just picked 10
That were common ones.
Yeah.
Frequently asked questions.
All right, so I'm gonna pop them up here. First question, when starting carnivore, did you initially start with all beef or a mix of different meats?
So yes, we started with just beef. Just beef. And the reason for that is most likely you're gonna have the least amount of food sensitivities to beef and ruminants, because ruminants are 100%, you can find 100% grass-fed and finished ruminants, where you can't find 100% grass-fed and finished poultry and pork. They're fed other things such as grain and soy. Corn.
So if you have some sort of sensitivity to corn or soy and it's like pretty extreme, you might experience some issues with that. But if you don't,
experiment.
Yeah,
Experiment.
But the traditional way to start carnivore is just beef.
Correct.
Beef. All right, question number 2. Do you ladies do any supplements? If so, what?
About to pull them in.
So in terms of diet, in general, the only supplement we have been taking is vitamin D, and it's just because we don't get a lot of sun exposure during the winter. A few people on YouTube have commented, like, don't even use that, you can get it all from your diet, and I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can.
I got my blood work done, and the only low blood work level was vitamin D.
So we were trying to be safe with it, but
Yeah.
we have some more looking into to do there. In terms of other supplements though,
This is our electrolytes. This is the only electrolytes that we take.
Salt.
Redmond Real Salt, you can get a 15% discount.
we take pure glycine powder, which is what we put in our carnivore sodas.
It helps me to sleep. And then we did a full video on how I sometimes take intra-workout carbs. So like once a week or once every 2 weeks. And I use this here. And we'll link the video about us talking about this.
I do not take that. I've not taken that.
And then we use a pre-workout. So we use Honey Badger pre-workout, and the reason for that is very minimal ingredients and only sweetened with stevia.
Which we don't have issues with. We use this a few times a week for our harder lifts.
Yes. All right, so that wraps up supplements.
Next question is the suet you eat cold and do you just chew it? So the suet, we talk about suet a lot. And yes, it is typically cold. It's usually come to room temperature by the time we eat it. And yes, we indeed do just
Chew it.
chew it. You chew the suet. You just chew it. You just gotta chew it.
Chew it.
Just keep chewing the suet.
Chew it.
Chew it.
Chew that
Chew it.
Chew it. Chew that
That's good. Do you girls fast? We don't like adhere to any strict fasting times anymore. We were really into 24-hour fasts before. We performed a 72-hour fast before. Kind of a big deal.
We do time restricted feeding every day, and we eat 2 meals a day within like a 4 to 8 hour window depending on the day. But we have been focusing on like muscle growth and being in a caloric surplus and bulking over these past 11 months, and so we haven't been prioritizing prolonged fasts. We probably are due for one soon. For health reasons, not for weight loss reasons. Do not use prolonged fast for weight loss reasons.
Prolonged fast can be incredibly powerful for health reasons. But so right now, currently, we do fast, but nothing intentional.
Correct.
It's a lot more convenient, and I'm not hungry in the morning. So, is it possible to put on mass while on the carnivore diet? Yes, we talked about this in the video. I'll link right here.
I have put on 11 pounds, and I would say that a lot of those 11 pounds are muscle.
And I just weighed myself this morning, and I'm up 15 pounds from when I started carnivore, so
gains.
There's that.
Dang.
Okay, all right. Why is carnivore diet with meat so popular, but not carnivore diet with fish?
I have some thoughts here.
Go for it.
So, us personally, we live in the middle of Illinois, and access to local fish is just non-existent. Also, we bought a full cow, so like most of our food budget is going towards that full cow. And if we had access to local fish, we would absolutely source local fish. One thing to keep in mind though, there's, you know, in the industrial era, there's just a lot of toxins in the environment, and sometimes suet is coming out.
I'm still doing my suet.
And sometimes those are just unavoidable, so fish can have high mercury levels, so just keep that in mind.
That's why we were like really advocates for a period of time of like salmon roe, because you can get a lot more nutrients in a much smaller bite, so potentially have less toxins. That's another FAQ. It wasn't asked on here.
It was.
All right, salmon roe. I noticed you ladies do not eat roe as much as you used to. Specific reason for this change. Roe as in salmon roe. So we were eating a lot of salmon roe over the summer, and we have an entire video, which I'll link here, about salmon roe.
And its benefits.
And its benefits. It's extremely beneficial. But we just honestly haven't been budgeting for it as much since we have our full cow. And a big reason we were consuming it was for the astaxanthin, which is a powerful antioxidant which has been shown to protect from UV damage from the sun. And like I just said, we haven't been out in the sun that much.
Yeah.
So probably closer to the summer, we're gonna get more salmon roe and include it in our diets again.
But there's no particular reason why we have avoided it. Y'all keep eating your roe,
If you wanna eat your roe, eat your roe. Okay. Okay, next question. Is it okay to start lifting weights when you have lots of weight to lose, or wait until goal weight? Lift weights.
Lift weights. And
Always
I think
lift
that
weights.
one benefit that's not really talked about is lifting weights is going to improve your metabolism.
Yeah.
And so you'll
increasing your lean tissue mass is a good thing.
absolutely lift weights. Do not wait until your goal weight. Use that as a way to lose weight, because ultimately lifting weights is caloric expenditure.
Lifting weights does not make you manly or bulky.
No.
It's what gives you your curves. Even if people are gonna call us transgender man hands weightlifting weirdos,
It's fine.
it's fine. Okay, on the same topic of lifting, do you like conventional or sumo deadlift better, and why?
So I've recently started to like both. So it's going to depend on your specific limb lengths, whether you like conventional or sumo better. So for us, we have like kind of frog limb lengths. So we have really short torsos.
We look like this guy.
Long legs. So sumo is going to help us because the wider that we can get our legs, that means the shorter we are, like the shorter we're gonna be, and so the range of motion of the bar is gonna be less. And so sumo is a little bit more advantageous for someone with our body size. I think it's also like, I just enjoy it more because I'm able to connect to my glutes more.
Yeah.
But conventional has its benefits too. It's fun, you can hit your back more.
I like sumo better. Okay. Did you ever do a whole foods plant-based diet? Did you ever try to optimize it like carnivore? Yeah. We did like, okay, so the doctors show like to try to say that we were doing like this the standard American diet before we came to carnivore, and that's just completely false. We were very much plant-based. We did like every color of the rainbow and every meal. We rotated our veggies every week to get different nutrients.
Oh yeah.
We did the whole shebang shaboom, and
we were vegan. We were vegan with eggs.
It didn't work out for us.
And yeah, it didn't work. And I think that whether it works is going to depend on whether you are an expert supplementer. So if you know how to supplement, we sure as heck do not. If we were on a plant-based diet, you can't get all the nutrients that your body needs. And two, the stability of your gut. If you have a damaged gut, your gut is not gonna like all them veggies. We were eating mounds of bok choy.
Here's one. Do you guys deal with any negative consequences from this diet? I don't know. More strange looks and hate mail from vegans.
My pooping is better. My brain fog is non-existent.
Oh, okay, they added to it. Like heart palps, leg cramps, being too cold, etc. Honestly, no.
This is all improved.
Yes, for us, that has all improved. I would get very cold all the time.
Yeah.
With the autoimmune condition, and now
my recovery is so much better at the gym.
No.
Another question is, any tips for hair loss on carnivore? So we get this question a lot. And honestly, I experience a lot of hair loss too. So when I'm taking a shower and I'm running my hands through my hair, a lot of hair comes out, but that's compensated for with increased hair growth. And it could be because we are super good about our glycine intake. we have a bunch of bone broth every single day. I'm not sure, maybe we're good with our nutrients. Perhaps hair loss is a sign of nutrient deficient. I don't know enough about this topic, and I don't know if anyone else
Let's talk about this though really quickly. So I'm gonna make a post about this next week, but I actually have dealt with, I don't even know how to say it, trichtillomania, which is a hair pulling disorder. So
y'all, this was
I'm just gonna go on a little rant about this. So
this is a real issue.
This habit, so it's like an irresistible urge to pull your hair out. And so I noticed this habit picking up at the earlier years of my college career, and this coincides with when my autoimmune disease was starting to show its worst symptoms.
Yeah.
Which, if anybody has ever suffered with this, they know it's kind of like a distraction from your reality. So it helped me compensate with anxiety and stress and depression. And so I would sit there, and especially in class, I would sit there and pull out my hair from the end part of my part.
Y'all, she had a bald spot.
I ended up picking out an entire bald spot in the back of my scalp. And 2 points on this, and it relates to the hair question. One, I no longer deal with this as much. I still find myself kind of feeling my hair.
Out of just habit.
Out of habit, but I don't pull it out. I resist the urge, and I don't feel like I need to escape from anything going on or what's going through my head by like inflicting that hair pull.
And she doesn't have a bald spot.
Well, hold on. And she got to my point 2 before I got there. Sometimes I just don't know.
We're thinking.
I'm still on point 1. I got rid of my anxiety and my depression by refining my health, and I obviously attributed that to diet. It's ironic because the medications prescribed for this disorder are SSRIs and antidepressants, and I fully believe that that is impacted by your diet, whether you need those things. Your diet is impacting what's going through your brain. Point 2, I no longer have the bald spot. So clearly I've had some pretty good hair regrowth since then.
Yeah.
And I'm comfy with it. You guys might notice in some of our videos, I might have like a little bit of an alfalfa thing going on up here. Like if my hair sticks up like that.
Yeah.
It's because I have shorter hairs there because they're growing back. So don't make fun of me. I used to be really insecure about this, but I feel I'm not ashamed of it anymore.
We personally don't have a problem with hair loss. So if you think of it as like a net balance, we have hair growth, I would say, positive hair growth. Like these caterpillars, I gotta tame them, you know? But perhaps if this is something that you're dealing with, maybe adding in more collagen or bone broth, or considering your methionine to glycine ratio. I do not know enough about this, but maybe something to try. Experiment.
Maybe something to try. One more question about the glycine, because you guys probably have questions about the glycine. Glycine, how much? Benefits? Also anything on pre-workout mixes, thanks. Okay, so we addressed the pre-workout mix. You could just, there's no question that caffeine is a great stimulant to improve your workouts.
There's plenty of studies showing athletic improvements by using caffeine as a pre-workout. So if you're looking to optimize, take your lift to the next level, don't get down with the dogma on caffeine. Use the caffeine.
But you could just take a pure caffeine supplement, and you can avoid all the other random things that you find in typical pre-workout supplements. For the glycine, I will link in the description below an entire series I wrote on glycine to methionine ratio. It will answer all of your questions about glycine, how much, what you can find it in naturally without having to take a supplement, and why it's important to balance that ratio.
That wraps up today's FAQ. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you made it through all of this, let's just sauce.
Yeah, wow. We actually need to go to the dog park now, so let's go. I was just cutting up a chuck roast, and I have this inability to not gnaw on the raw beef on the ends of the bones. If you're like trying to get into eating a little bit more raw meats in your diet, this could be a great option. Just gnaw on the little extra niblets, not very intimidating, and go from there. There's somebody who likes to comment on our videos that we know cooking our food is bad and that we're fakes because we cook our food. We're sinning. And to you, I just say thank you for commenting on the video. You are helping boost it.
Wait, someone just asked a very frequently asked question that I have to answer. Don't you ever get bored eating all that meat? Because we take the nose to tail approach, never get bored because there are endless cuts, endless options out there. And so that's one of our goals with our nose to tail feast day, which is actually tomorrow. To get creative in the kitchen and hopefully like inspire you guys to just have fun with the food. You don't have to just stick with beef and eggs. Get fun and creative. Be a chef. Okay.
So we just went with a very, very staple quick meal tonight.
Chuck steak, round steak, raw beef suet, 3 over easy eggs.
Okay, correction. These are sunny side up eggs. Somebody in the comments was getting very upset at us getting that wrong.
Sunny side up.
3 chicken boobs.
I am keeping my suet on a side plate because I do not want steak juice on it today. Not
Side
feeling
plates of suet.
the suet and the steak juice. Okay.
Let us know in the comments below if you would like to see our food in any other way, or if there's something more helpful that we can do when showing our food. We'll happily accommodate a request if it's reasonable.
And if you're going to ask what our macros are, just stay tuned for a resource coming out soon to all of you all. But until tomorrow morning, behave like an angel.